Hello, love bugs. I hope you're having the most wonderful day. As a Palia streamer and content creator, I am often surprised at a lot of what I consider to be more basic things in Palia that players just don't know. I'm often shocked when I'm doing some sort of decorating in the game and a player suddenly is like, oh, hey, I didn't know you could do that. Holy crap. So today I want to talk about some of the biggest things that I am most shocked that not every Palia player knows. The first thing we're going to talk about that I'm always shocked that people don't know about are their weekly accomplishments. I'm really surprised often at people who don't know how the guild stores work to buy items from the different players in the game, the NPCs out there. You have these skill medals that can be earned after completing level 10 from leveling up and completing weekly challenges. You can earn up to 2,000 medals in each of the different guilds. Like I actually need to go spend some with Hadari. Oh no, a trip to see Hadari. Oh, how sad. Because they have different stores where you can buy all different kinds of things. Like sometimes if you're just low one piece of flow wood, you can just go buy some if you want from Ashura, from just doing your foraging. Or obviously there's some of the really big fun items that you can get as well. But each week you can earn more medals, not only just from leveling up in that skill, but from completing these different challenges. So for example, I've completed a bunch of the cooking ones. So it's completed for cooking star quality meals, cooking together with friends, and I just need to cook 3 more meals to get 40 more cooking skill medals to go spend with Wrath. So if you aren't doing these every single week, I hope you're not at level 10 yet. But if you are at level 10, you should be trying to get these accomplished every week, at least in the categories that you are trying to get cool bonus items from. Which brings me to my next thing that I'm always surprised that people don't know about. One of the awesome items that you can get with your skill medals from one of the guild stores is from Badru for leveling up in gardening. And it is this beautiful wishing well. Now, not only is the wishing well beautiful, you can actually use it to refill your watering can, which is just so nice because then you can truly put your garden anywhere you want. Not that there aren't always places around your plot for you to go and fill your watering can, but it's so convenient when it's just right there with your plot, especially if you decide to decorate your plot around it like I did. I mean, seriously, save up for this guy. It is one of my favorite items I have in the game, period. One question I get more than any other question when I am streaming is, how do I change my windows and my walls? And I'm so surprised to see that people don't realize that in your top-down menu, you can actually change what the walls and windows are like in each of your individual rooms. Now, forgive my plot. It's in a little bit of construction right now, but it's still going to work. So for example, if I wanted to change the open window, the open space that's available here in my harvest house, I could click on this and then click on the big open option, and it would give me other options. I can either have the double doorway, which has the arch, which is what I have right now. I could do complete open concept so that there would be nothing really in between, or I can have a single doorway. I like my arches, so that's what I'm going to have. The same thing with rooms with walls and windows. So for example, this small room has window options on either side. I can change the window options to just being a solid wall, or I can have a small window or a double window. And it really is that simple, and that's how I make those changes. Connecting to that question, I also often get the question of how I connected my hallways into making them a big long hallway. And it's the exact same way. If you go into your top-down menu and you click on any of the hallway sections, this hallway section where it's connected, I just have it on open concept instead of on single doorway, which allows it to look like one big hallway instead of 2 little pieces of hallway. A question that I got asked 3 times in my last stream was how I had another plot where all I was doing was growing my new flowers. And I was so shocked to see how many people didn't realize that in your menu up here, you can purchase additional plots and have multiple different kinds of decoration. So instead of just always working on the same plot, and a lot of people are always complaining that their plot is full and they can't do anything else, you can make something entirely different. Like I have a plot for flowers, but I also have a plot that I'm working on that's going to be like a town hall with like a almost like a town square, not town hall, but like a town square with like a restaurant and an arcade and a bunch of little like individual shops. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So you can go up to this here in your menu and click on new plot. It does cost a lot of money. So your first one is a little bit cheaper, but obviously I have 4 now, so it's a little expensive to be able to get more plots, but it is something that you're going to be able to do, and also unlocks new decor items and whatnot for you to play with, like the gazebo. This is another build thing that I had someone really shocked who's a regular and has seen my house and been at my house a lot of times. And they didn't even realize that you could put bay windows together like this on the harvest house. So I had to at least mention that, since I was so surprised to see that someone who has been in my house a bunch of times never even realized that they could add this bay window on either side of the harvest house, which honestly, if you're not doing this, like, I really want to know what you're doing that's better, because these bay windows on the harvest house look absolutely amazing. I also get questions about my fencing all the time. People often think that this fencing way, and if we run over here, this fencing way are actually different kinds of fences, but they're not. If you notice, it is all log cabin fence, but you can lay it down piece by piece, or this is just by doing little short drags. So instead of just dragging the whole fence across, like you would think you would normally do it, I just dragged one and then stopped, then clicked on it, dragged another one, stopped. It takes a lot of time. It is very, very tedious, but you end up having something that looks like this, which I personally think looks better than the standard way to put down this particular fencing. Now, this little trick is something that is brand new. So if you don't know this, I will admit that I'm not super shocked, because it is brand new. But the new flowers can be placed inside, not only outside for decor, but if you want to come up with fun little creative ways to splash them in your house, you can also do that. I also tested something while I was doing it with this particular rose, and I left it here as an example to show y'all. So when I had a full grown rose bush, I could not tuck it back further into that corner. But when I had a rose bush that was just a bud, I was able to tuck it back into the corner where I wanted it, and then water it to get it to grow. And it had it grow into the place that I wanted it to be. So it's kind of like a little glitch, but not really. We'll just call it like a little trick to get your bushes where you want them if you're putting them in your house. Now, you can't put them up on tables or up on shelves or anything like that. I would love to see us to be able to like put them on shelves and do creative things with the shelves to make like window beds of flowers and things. I think would be really, really cute. But I am excited to see what you will all do with them, even just being able to do it like this. I tried to mostly just like mix these ones in hidden spots, so you would kind of assume that they're in a pot and not just, growing directly out of the ground. But let me know what you think. And if you do anything really creative with your flowers, let me know. My kitchen looks so sad right now because I'm remodeling, so I don't have my pantry back there. But just you wait for what's coming. But anyway, our next thing is that people are always asking me if they need to have a recipe in order to cook something, and you do not. All you need is someone to start a recipe. So I know all of these recipes. So even if you never got any of them, let's say you didn't get the pan-fried dumplings from Reth, you haven't had the money, you just started playing this week, but you need pan-fried dumplings for a quest for some reason. You can come on over to my house. I can start pan-fried dumplings. And as long as you put an ingredient in, you are going to get those pan-fried dumplings too. So definitely make sure that you reach out to your friends or reach out to your community or to other people even on your server. If you have a recipe that you need to make, like sushi or sashimi or like trout dinner, some of the harder to get recipes, and see if there's someone that can help you with that, because often there is. And then everybody gets the recipe. Another thing that I am shocked to often hear from people is that a lot of you think that there are a ton of consequences for dating multiple people. That's only in the real world sometimes, not in Palia. In Palia, you can romance everybody. I have level 4 romance with everybody in this room, and nobody cares that I am only wearing Gel's pin and not wearing Tish and Reth's pins. They really don't seem to care. It's kind of like everyone's relationship is individual, and that's just how it is. I'm not saying that there aren't some dialogue options and things that will happen. If you date Gel first and then date Tish, you do get a really fun dialogue that I really enjoyed, and people probably heard me talk about it before, but I won't tell you the spoilers in case you want to do it yourself. But if you really are interested in collecting everyone's images, which like the paintings that you get for getting them to level 4, I totally understand. I'm still working on Einar, and I want Einar's picture. It's awesome. Go ahead and romance them. Again, romancing, as we call it here, our romance levels, it can mean whatever you want it to be. In Majiri culture, the Palian developers have pretty much described as saying that like romance means whatever kind of love that you want it to mean, and wearing someone's pin can mean, and giving a pin or getting a pin can mean something totally different based on your personal feelings for that person, as long as you both understand that it means what it means. So anyway, don't get all wrapped up in it. If you want the stinking pictures, go romance. And if you don't care about the pictures and you don't want to romance anybody, then don't. That's the nice thing about Palia. There really aren't consequences besides this little photo. Now, I don't know what everybody has been building lately, but the amount of questions that I have had about getting silk, I don't know what it is that you're all working on, but at least twice a stream, someone asks me, how the heck do I get more silk? And my answer is hitting rocks in Bahari. While there are a lot of bugs that can give you silk in the game, and some that give you big old piles of silk, I find that the bug that sometimes comes out of the rocks in Bahari to be the easiest way to go about farming some for myself. This way, I'm not only collecting silk, I am also getting a chance of getting myself gemstones, starstones that I can use. I'm also getting materials that I'm always going to need, like iron, gold, silver, I mean, even just stone. And sometimes we get a chance of one of these guys. So this is what they look like. They're these little like caterpillar millipede looking dudes. I always forget their name. Like, I just think of them as the rock bugs that give me silk. Is that bad? What's your name? A centipede, a scintillating centipede. And so this way I'm earning other materials that I need on top of also getting the silk that I need for whatever it is you've all been needing silk for lately. Now, I have been getting tons and tons of questions about hunting lately because it is the great Sernuk murder of 2024, or whatever it is you want to call it. And a lot of you have been asking for advice on how to hunt Elkton John, as I like to call him, or Swagstag, Disco Deer, Glamby, whatever nickname you use for that cutie pie. I personally think the best things for hunting him are, well, two things. So we know that we have a lot of different kinds of arrows and things that we can use. I always bring some flares with me. I usually also bring fireworks in case I'm just trying to get somebody's attention but not leave a space marked. I will use my fine arrows for killing the single shot deer, because then I don't need to waste one of my one of my other ones that is worth a lot more. Now, I like using slowdown arrows for just about everybody. It does average damage, but it does slow down your Elder Sernuk and does slow down Elkton John as well. But dispel arrows are really, really what you should be saving and having on you for not just going when you're going after Elkton John, but when you're going against any of the magical creatures. So any of the fancy magical ones, whether it's the Mujin or the Choppa or Elkton. If you can even just get one of these shots on it, it's gonna make Elkton no longer be able to do his little magical ability for a couple of seconds. So the smartest thing I find is if you can get at least one other friend to go with you to go hunt Elkton, have one person use a slowdown arrow and one person use a dispel arrow. Have the dispel arrow go first and give that good hit so that he can't do his little magical ability, and then the slowdown arrow hit him, and then everyone just start unloading on him, and he will go down pretty quickly and easily without you having to chase him all over the map. Now, another thing I want to talk about really quickly that has to do with Elkton, but also has to do with all of the Sernuk. You do not have to get the final hit on a Sernuk in order to get the loot. I've seen a lot of people really running them down and trying to get as many shots on them as they can while there's a bunch of other people also actively hunting, especially Elkton. You only need to get one hit on the deer in order for it to count. So for example, when I am playing with my friends and we are hunting down Elkton, if I find him, I will call out where he's at. I will shoot him with my dispel arrow to get my one hit. And then the rest of the time that I'm chasing him, I only shoot fireworks just to show that what direction he's in. And my friends know to follow the fireworks sound because they know that that's where he's currently running. So I've had a few people come into my chats and tell me that, you know, they got their shot on Elkton and yet they still didn't get loot. And I'm telling you that either you thought you got your shot and you didn't get it, you missed, or that it was just a glitch, because I do this every single time when I know I got my hit on it, and every single time I get the loot, even if it takes us like 5 minutes of running around the map because I'm trying to let everyone get there to get a hit. All of us get our loot every time if we get a hit. The only time you won't get one is if you didn't actually get a hit on the deer. All right, so here he is. I'm gonna go chase him down. I'm gonna pull out my dispel arrow and give him a hit. And now he can't do his little, like, jump around fancy thing. His magic, I guess, would be the simpler thing to call it. And now I can shoot off my firework because it's not going to mark him because he's just going to run again. And everybody else can get their hits. They got a hit. I'm just going to keep marking where he's at so people know and can find him. I'm just going to keep an eye on him. Now he's moved over here. I don't ever shoot it directly at him because if it does, he will run if you hit him with a flare or with a firework. So I do it just kind of in the area that he's in so we can keep tracking him. I don't think there's a lot of people hunting on this server right now. I've only done my one hit, and so I'm going to just prove it to you all that I only need the one hit. I do not need to take him out in order for me to get the loot. Oh, all right. Elkton is down. As you saw, I did not get the final blow, and yet there's my loot. And I still got all of the loot for taking him down. So please just remember, you don't have to get every shot. It is not a competition to get every single one. You can just get one shot on him or even on the Elder Sernuk. Save your arrows. If you see other people hunting them as well, feel free to just get one shot on it and chase it and see if everyone else gets a shot too. You'll save yourself tons of slowdown arrows and everybody will still get loot. All right, love bugs, if you have any other questions about Palia, feel free to always reach out and let me know. And I hope that you're having fun getting all of these plushies, even if it's taking you thousands of arrows like me. All right, I love you. Bye.